Hey gamers, it's Jay with GXP. Today we're getting into farms. So I'm going to be talking about Apache Kid, and these are all his farms. So I'm going to be taking a C10 up to a C13 and then getting it set with gathering farms that allow me to generate resources faster. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Basically, getting your castle up to a C10 is fairly simple. All right. What I like to do is at the beginning of ROC, whether it's season 1 or season 2, I like to create all my farms, because as you go into ROC, there's a lot of tiling that needs to be done, and that allows you to get your troops in place. I only use T1s unless my castle is progressed up to C13, C15, or even C19, and those farms I will produce higher level cavalry, because I want to take higher level tiles for ROC. But when we're talking about farms, I am going to configure from a C10 to a C13 first as a passive, and then I'm going to bring it in as a gathering farm. So the things that are important is getting your castle to C13 and then getting all of the resources to level 13. And it's best to do that on a building day. So I always just start with the castle and basically go by what it requires for upgrades. $3. Right, I got my third chest, my second chest for my ally, third total. All right, I'm going to sit and wait because I'm 1 minute out. I'm going to grab some of my resources. I'm going to collect these chests. And the amount of resources to get to 2.75 is ridiculous. So I'm just going for the 2 and to continue pushing up my Clash of Province. Let that roll over for a second so I can go right into C11. And like I said, I'm still waiting for that hour later roll over. New hour has begun. Let's see what it is. More building power. All right, so I got my second COP chest. Quarry now. See what kind of speed ups I have left. I have none. Just hit it with diamonds. All right, so when you have this right here, which is basically, it wants you to fill the tavern to get there, but you also have to check what you have here. So see how I have 17? It needs 27. So these houses all need to upgrade. So you get 600, 720, 1,000, another 1,000. So basically at level 10, I'm looking at 5,000, and you notice how I've gone up to 20K. So let's take this one up to level 10. So let's see where we're at. 27 is what it's at. Okay. It requires 27. So I can either fill the tavern and wait, or I can push these upgrades, because a little trick is pushing these past the population requirement will raise that population level. And see how it jumped over 27? 4-hour upgrade. I have no more speed ups. I don't want to use 500 diamonds. Let's see what I have over here in chests. So I've got building speed ups in there. Sweet. This is from the Alliance. Some training speed ups. And some training speed up. I'm over my 570K, so I would have to go to 3 million. As a C10, C11, C12, that's really hard to get. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the upgrades run on the big ones. So I've got 25 minutes. So let's go. I brought it down to there. That's 300. Fine. All right. So that upgrade allows me to start this castle upgrade. When you're upgrading your C10, C11, C12, use your dragon to cut down the amount of time and give you more free upgrades. You know, it's deer hunting season. Building day on your C10s, man. Lots of deer get dead. And when you activate the dragon power, it lasts for 30 minutes. And the reason why I want that activated is because of the free. So like all of these level ones, with your dragon activated, it gives you more of the free upgrades. As long as you have the resources, it doesn't cost you any diamonds. So I'm just worried about the free ones first. Oh, and a 3 diamond. That'll be fine. We'll find. Because remember, this is a farm. So you want your resources to be matched to your castle level. But you want it to be also as efficient as possible. So that's why here, once I get everything upgraded, I'm going to move around all of these buildings to be much more efficient and disconnect what can be disconnected. Encampments. Free medical tents. So that looks like everything that's out here that is a resource is about to be completed for the free options. From upgrades, you get more buildings that you can put out. So you want to put those out, but because I'm taking this to a C13, I also want to change the layout. So I'm not going to bring all those buildings out just yet. I'm going to finish this C13 and then change the layout so I get the river and I get the water wheels for my farms. And then I'll bring out all the buildings. I'll upgrade everything to C13 or level 13, depending on the resources that I have. So we're still doing the upgrade on the 12 going to 13 at the end of an hour. So let's see if I can smash any chests real quick. So 60K gets me this, 460 gets me this. It's building and crafting, so. C10, C13, you get to change. I'm going to create these as farmer classes. I need just a little bit more. I need iron. Got it. Have 4,000 diamonds left. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the layout. And we'll do all that and I'll be right back. All right, so all the plots are unlocked. This is the new configuration. All right, so I'm going to start setting this one up for becoming passive, and I'll take time to do that. Once it's done, I'll show you guys what I've got set up. I've got everything configured. Let me kind of run through it for you. Obviously, C13, and typically what I try and do is just right south of it, put all the things that I interact with. You know, whether it's quests or the dragon or exchanges or collecting resources from the farm or adding charcoal to my single unit for my charcoal workshop or collecting from my mint or healing my troops, institute, all 3 of my military troop trainings, and then I've got the university. This one's optional. I like to keep it out, which is the watchtower, because it controls the horn. I have it disconnected in some, so that's optional, but I'm not going to upgrade it for a while. And then I put all my training camps over here. And the reason why I put my storage is here, because the storage is your number one upgrade. You always have to be upgrading storage. Plus, your workers have to interact with your storage quite often. So I put the workers really close to the storage, and I put the storage really centered, because whether it's going straight down to one of these buildings, or it's going over and collecting iron, or it's going over and collecting wood, or different resources, I try and keep it as streamlined and centered as possible. This is my major disconnected buildings. All right, so it's really easy for me just to grab a road, put it connected, do whatever I need to do with it, and then disconnect it when I'm done. Okay, same goes for over here on this section, which basically this is all the extra encampments, all the extra medical tents, all the extra mints. You don't need them all connected. You only need the 4, which is the house, the encampment, the medical tent, and the mint. Just one of each of those has to be connected. So I just grab this, connect it, if I ever need to connect it. Okay, so I try and keep them disconnected. The reason why is I'm trying to create a passive, or at least consume the least amount of charcoal, because charcoal is what gets consumed. So you have to load wood into your charcoal. Charcoal gets consumed. The number that I'm always looking at is this number. As long as my production is higher than my consumption, I'm not going to be having to constantly fill that with charcoal. So the way I get that is right here. So basically, I make sure that my charcoal workshop is level 13, same as my castle. This is what produces charcoal without any materials. So I can keep loading this with wood, and if this is a low level, it's going to keep consuming wood. If I kick this workshop up, it gets to the point where it can handle not having to be loaded nearly as much. Just show you what it's connected. So with everything connected, I'm producing 105 and I'm consuming 77. Now bear in mind that this has wood inside of it, and this has wood inside of it. So you're getting a higher production number. Best to check that number when those are empty. Your factories are empty, your level 13 workshop, and you are producing more than you're consuming. That's the perfect passive setup. This alignment is now done. So what I have to now focus on is improving the troop encampments, training facilities, training grounds, all of those plus research is going to produce more units of T1s at a time. But right now I can produce 520, and I need to produce quite a few of them to be able to have adequate gathering. With the 3 legions that are now in place, and if I can get them to be able to gather between, I would say, 600K and 1.2 million in resources per each legion, they're going to really be able to start getting resources for me, and on a daily basis, getting yourself to a C13, getting yourself to a passive layout, and being able to then get your troops high enough using T1 cavalry to constantly be gathering. You don't have to spend a lot of time on passive farms. I can run through a farm in about 3 minutes, and that's basically collecting everything from the daily heroes, the dragon, all of it in about 3 minutes. All right, guys, hopefully that was helpful. I do appreciate you watching, and real quick before the hour ends, I was able to hit another chest. So, like I said, passive farms set up for gathering at a C13 level. That's what this was all about. Hopefully it helps you. The next segment that I'm going to work on is going from a C13 to a C15 and how that changes as far as a farm. And I will let you know when I'm going to put that out next. All right, guys. JXP, peace.